really is a case of, have you heard the latest? And as ever, what is it? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Another noisy London, yes, I know. We found a quiet spot, hopefully, that you can hear everything that's happening today. Busy time, as you can imagine, with the Platinum Jubilee. Everybody's out in force. Lots of people, by the way, out with corgis. Lovely treat. Love them, don't you? Bit nippy, you know, they do go for you if they don't like you. A little bit like this particular story that we're about to tell you an update on today. Now, as we all know, of course, it's been a really tricky time for the former huge Hollywood star, Johnny Depp. I've interviewed him on a number of occasions, particularly for the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, of which I thought he did a splendid job as Captain Jack Sparrow, as one can imagine. What was interesting, I often thought he borrowed his look, by the way, from Adam in Adam and the Ants. It was something he did sort of say he was inspired by. And I thought he did wonderful things, you know, whichever side you decide to take. I do remember Johnny Depp turning up unannounced at a children's hospital to see a lot of young, very ill, sick children dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow. And I mean, they were just delighted to see him. It was a wonderful thing to see because, of course, you don't get huge Hollywood stars mainly doing that. But, of course, the big focus is on the case, isn't it? You know, what's really happened. And a lot of people have been saying to me, why have you not reported on this before? Well, the professionals amongst us know that you really have to be very careful how you describe court cases, you know, particularly when it's so volatile between the two plaintiffs. It's not an easy situation. But moving forward with this particular story, we are now, of course, at liberty to tell you what's happening next. Now, in case you didn't know, Mr. Depp has won his case, and it's a defamation case, and of course, you know, very, very tragic circumstances. Two people clearly who got on for a period and then, of course, decided they didn't moving forward. Now, the bigger problem is Amber Heard, the ex-wife, seemingly has to pay quite a few million back to Mr. Depp. Does she have it? Well, no. But here's what we can tell you first and exclusive. There are really no losers in big events like this, and let me tell you the reason why. Because something like this, you know, a book deal now really, you know, can be put together, and that could be very lucrative for Miss Heard. On top of that, of course, not just the book, but the book tour, then there's the paperback, then there's the serialization rights from a newspaper or international magazine, and then on top of all that, there's a documentary. If you think things like Michael Jackson and, you know, the thing with Lou Pearlman and the boy bands and all that sort of stuff, there always is ways of making money back. You know, that's what they do. Will she be able to make back all the millions? Well, I would suspect that she owes Mr. Depp so much they'll have to come up with a payment plan. But given the fact that he gave her quite a bit in the divorce, perhaps it's just his money that she's returning finally, whichever way you look at it. But also an intriguing thing has happened over here in the United Kingdom that, and get this, because Amber Heard is an actress, and it was news to me really, I didn't know much about her work. I know she'd been in a few films, but now apparently she could be looking at options to return here to London, and this time to star on the London stage. There's nothing like a bit of notoriety, is there, for box office pull. Now, whether that actually, you know, can figure out and somebody will come up with a proper deal, who knows? But, you know, when you're in dire straits and difficult times, you have to look at all options. And of course, the people spinning the stories around Miss Heard will definitely want to capitalise on the opportunities that could be presented forward. So right now, there are both winners. As we've seen, Johnny Depp is back on stage playing guitar with his favourite bands across the United Kingdom, first here in London and then popping up in Liverpool. Who knows where next? And we are told he may also be doing a few festivals over here in the United Kingdom. So it makes sense that, he's decided to go public and show that he's now trying to get his life back on track. There is no, without a doubt, that Miss Amber Heard will simply be doing the same, particularly with the very expensive team that she's now hired around her. As ever, when I know more and I'm able to tell you more, I certainly will share it with you. Neil Sean in the very heart of a very sunny London Platinum Jubilee weekend.